Omaha Beach, and we all know the phrase Bloody Omaha. Well, I was walking by the water's edge. Beautiful, bright day, sunshine. Who would have thought this was the incredible event to take place, June 6, 1944. Well, I don't know what possessed me, but I kind of knelt down and I took a scoop of sand and water, and it trickled down my elbow back into the surf. Gosh, that was like being struck by lightning. Remember what happened to Saul. It was a moment. It was, what's the word we use a lot when something, it was a
Epiphany?
Epiphany, that's the word. And gosh, I looked around and could I hear guns exploding and men running? Honestly, I was almost in a hypnotic state. So I decided, well, I'm going to write a play. The play is One Man's Decision, referring to General Eisenhower. I did meet Ike, well, I should say I met him, but it was 1953, 54, way up in the mountains. I was with my dad, and Ike was fishing. And my father said, look down there, there's the president. I said, Dad, I'm hungry. Let's eat. I did see him live one time, okay? So that was the beginning of a love affair, if you want to call it that, of a love affair with history. And I've been with it ever since. I do eat, sleep, drink history. I have a mistress. That's history. Okay, if you know what I'm trying to say here. Passion. You have to have the passion, and you know what I'm talking about. You need a drink?
Yeah, I just had one.
So I was teaching at National University. So I was giving a talk about Ike, and someone said, well, wait a minute, why don't you dress up as him? I said, well, that's an idea. And one thing then went to another, okay? And how all this came about, going to Army Navy supplies and contacting people. And one of my students actually gave this to me, this cover. It's original. So that's my baby there. So it just developed. I'm sure you know what I mean. And so here we are tonight. Now I've done this many times. Many, many, many times. However, it's still new. I always tell that to the audiences that I have, and I've had many audiences. In fact, I just did one a few weeks ago to the DAR. Yeah. No, it was I'm sorry, SAR, Sons of the American Revolution. That's the one. And I did it for the daughters too back. But in any event, I like to do it fresh. That this is just not a rote thing. And sometimes I'll do things a little differently, reading my audience. Speaking of that, so tonight you are veterans of World War II, all right? So that's how I'm gearing this presentation for tonight. Now the uniform I'm wearing is correct. This is an original Ike jacket. He popularized that and it became very well known in the military in World War II, and still is today to some extent. The patch that I have here, the insignia that also you see here, is the SHAEF insignia. Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force, SHAEF. And the blackened area represents the tyranny of the Nazis over Europe. The sword, flaming sword, represents justice and liberation. The colors here represent all the colors of the rainbow, I should say, of the, it is a rainbow, but all the colors of the Allies that fought in World War II against the Axis. And the blue represents the skies that have been liberated, and now the skies are blue, away from the Nazis.